So, what phone company could make you thousands of dollars? Comment down below if you can guess the stock by the thumbnail. So, the company that can make you thousands of dollars is AT&T. So, if you guessed AT&T, good job, you were right. Do you guys use AT&T or do you own AT&T stock? If so, comment down below. Make sure to sign up with my Webull link in the description below and get yourself some free stock. Anyways, so AT&T's current market cap is $118.69 billion. Their 52-week high is $19.99. Their 52-week low is $12.97. Their earnings per share is $1.95. A way you can tell if a company is profitable is by looking at their earnings per share. If a company has a negative earnings per share, then you might want to reconsider before investing into that company. They pay a dividend of 6.69%, or in other words, they pay a quarterly dividend of 27 cents. Now, looking at their annual revenue, in 2019 they made $181.19 billion. In 2020 they made $143.05 billion. In 2021 they made $134.04 billion. In 2022 they made $120.74 billion. And in 2023 they made $122.43 billion. Just in case you don't know what revenue means, it's the total amount of money a company earns from goods and services. Now, looking at their annual net income, in 2019 they made $14.98 billion. In 2020 they made negative $1.52 billion. In 2021 they made $23.78 billion. In 2022 they made negative $6.87 billion. In 2023, they made $15.62 billion. Just in case you don't know what net income is, it's what a business or individual makes after taxes, deductions, and other expenses are taken out. Now, looking at their annual operating income, in 2019, they made $27.96 billion. In 2020, they made $8.37 billion. In 2021, they made $25.9 billion. In 2022, they made negative $4.59 billion. In 2023, they made $23.07 billion. In 2023, their annual operating income was good. Meanwhile, in 2022, it was negative. So yeah, not so good. Basically, a high operating income shows profitability, while a low or negative numbers means that there are problems in operational expenses. According to 28 analysts, 32% of them are saying to buy AT&T. Now, what price target do analysts see AT&T at? Their price forecast, the average price target is $19.35, with a high estimate of $29 and a low estimate of $11. Now, looking at AT&T on the technical analysis perspective, the current support level on the daily chart is 1650. The current resistance level on the daily chart is 1710. Support and resistance levels are important because they help when to enter in a trade and when to exit out of a trade. That's why it's important to have a game plan using support and resistance. Try to be realistic where your support and resistance levels are at, so try not to overextend your support and resistance levels. What makes this a convincing buy is that there's a double bottom pattern forming on a daily chart.
Sure is nice driving my 2020 Chevy Silverado. Hi, Squidward.
What makes this a convincing buy is that there is a double bottom pattern forming on the daily chart, which could mean a signal to the upside possibly in these upcoming days. So what is a double bottom pattern? Basically, the formation of the double bottom pattern is seen as an opportunity to enter a bullish position. Sometimes it's best to look over a stock and see how it's done in the past, because sometimes history can repeat itself. Now, what could happen tomorrow or in the upcoming days is that AT&T could start a reversal to the upside, and just maybe it could touch that resistance level of 1710. Remember, this is just a prediction, it might or might not happen. Now, looking at this with the moving average indicators on the daily chart, you can see that AT&T is below the 9, 20, and 50-day moving averages. More specifically,
so I have to find a new best friend. Hey, Squidward!
now looking at this with the moving average indicators on the daily chart, you can see that AT&T is below the 9, 20, and 50-day moving averages. More specifically, it's above the 20-day moving average, which is a good sign for the stock over the long term. So what is the 200-day moving average? A buy signal is generated when the price moves above the 200-day moving average. A sell signal is triggered when the price moves below the 200-day moving average. Basically, if a stock is over the 200-day moving average, investors have confidence in buying the stock. If it's below the 200-day moving average, investors may be losing confidence in the stock and may consider selling. Now the moment everyone's been waiting for, how can AT&T make me money? It's by buying options. Okay, to explain it in the most simple way, basically, if you buy a call option, you're betting that stock is going to go up. Meanwhile, if you buy a put option, you're betting that stock will go down. So for me, when I'm buying options, I do not like buying options short term. I like buying options long term because they're way less risky and don't risk losing that much money if I'm wrong. Meanwhile, if I play a short term option, I'm more likely to lose money because each day that passes, that option decreases in value. Meanwhile, the long term option decreases in value too, but at a slower pace. Just like stocks, do everything with risk management. So have a game plan planned out, plan where you want to enter and exit out of a trade. Let me show you an example. So I'm interested in buying a call option that expires the 21st of June. More time means more likely of AT&T touching the resistance level of 1710. Now, how much would I make if I buy 110 call options that expire June 21? So if AT&T touches 17.10 by next month, let's say March 6, I would make a total of $220, which is insane. And hey, a win is a win, and at the end of the day, it is what
It is what it is.
But I want you guys to always remember this. We're not perfect. No one is perfect. But from the mistakes we make, we can learn from them. So if you ever feel like, man, the stock market is complicated, or I feel like I'm never going to make money off the stock market, don't feel that way. Practice makes perfect. So if you don't feel that way, practice makes perfect. So give it your all and don't give up. Also, if you want to practice your trading skills, sign up with my Webull link in the description below and get yourself some free stock and start paper trading with fake money. Now, let's say you're like, yeah, I think I'm going to stay off the options. They seem complicated. If they seem complicated, they are complicated, but don't worry. You always have the option to invest into AT&T for the long term. Now, moving forward, what would happen if you had invested $1,000 into AT&T for the long term? Let's take a look. Now, let's say you invested into AT&T for 10 years with $1,000. Then let's say you contribute $500 into AT&T monthly. By the end of the 10-year mark, your investment of $1,000 would now be worth $71,352. That is just insane because all you did was hold on to AT&T for 10 years and let AT&T do all the hard work for you. Now, if you had invested into SPY for 10 years with a small investment of $1,000, then let's say you contribute a monthly amount of $500 and reinvest your dividends to buy more SPY shares, by the end of the 10-year mark, your investment would be worth $129,933. That is just insane because all you did was hold on to SPY for 10 years, reinvested your dividends back into SPY, and let SPY do all the hard work for you. This is the power of long-term investing. Meanwhile, if you had invested that money in a savings account, it would be nowhere what AT&T or SPY could have given you over the 10-year mark. But what does everyone think about AT&T? Do you see them having a good future, or do you think they will struggle? Let me know in the comments down below. This concludes the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Get yourself some free stock when you sign up with my Webull link in the description below or wherever you're seeing this at. As always, take care everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, this is not financial advice. Alright, see you guys. Take care. Bye.